The newspaper clipping was dated April 19th, 2009. Search called off for missing hikers in Pine Ridge Forest. 4 names. 4 faces in grainy black and white photos that looked like they were pulled from driver's licenses. Emily Vasquez, 22. Marcus Chen, 24. David Harrow, 28. Sophie Klein, 21. The article said they'd gone on a 3-day camping trip in Pine Ridge State Forest in northern Montana. They were expected back on April 15th. When they didn't return, a search party was dispatched. They found the campsite on the 2nd day, tents still standing, food untouched, backpacks stacked neatly by the fire pit. No signs of struggle, no blood, no tracks leading away from the site. The article mentioned one detail that stuck out. A local ranger had warned them before they left. The warning wasn't specific, just, "If you hear something calling you out there, don't answer. Don't do what it tells you." They'd laughed it off. Small town superstition. The kind of thing you ignore. By April 23rd, the search was called off. The forest was vast. The trail was cold. 4 people had walked into Pine Ridge and vanished. Jake folded the newspaper and set it on the table. "So, we're really doing this," he said. Across from him, Mara nodded. She'd been the one to bring the article. She worked part-time at the county library and had been going through old archives for a research project when she found it. Not just this article, a dozen others. Different years, different names. Always spring. Always Pine Ridge. Always the same outcome. "Look at the dates," she said, spreading out printouts across the table. 1979, April, 4 hikers missing. 1994, April again, 3 this time. 2009, 4. And now it's 2024. Jake leaned forward. 15 years apart. Exactly 15, Mara said. Every single time. Across the table, Ethan was scrolling through his phone, cross-referencing locations on a map. He was the practical one. Engineering major, always needed to see the data before he believed anything. "That's not a pattern," he said. "That's a timer." "For what?" The 4th voice came from the corner of the room. Lena was standing by the window, arms crossed. She hadn't touched the printouts, hadn't needed to. She'd already made up her mind the moment Mara mentioned it. Lena was a journalism student. She lived for stories like this. Unexplained disappearances, gaps in the record. The kind of thing that didn't make sense until you dug into it yourself. "That's what we're going to find out," Mara said. Jake looked at her. "You really think we'll find something the search teams didn't?" "I think the search teams weren't looking for the right thing," Mara said. "They were looking for bodies. We're looking for answers." Ethan set his phone down. "And if we find the same thing that happened to them?" Mara smiled. It wasn't a reassuring smile. "Then we'll know." They left on April 12th, 3 days before the date the 2009 group had disappeared. Mara's logic was simple. If the pattern held, the 15-year cycle meant something was active now, in these woods, right now. The drive took 6 hours. Pine Ridge Forest was remote, even by Montana standards. The ranger station at the edge of the trail was staffed by one man who looked like he hadn't seen another human being in weeks. His name was Carl. He was in his late 60s, with the kind of face that had stopped showing emotion a long time ago.
"You kids here for the trails?" he asked.
3-day hike, Ethan said. "In and out." Carl nodded slowly. His eyes moved over them. lingered on Lena, who was holding a camera. "You planning to go deep?" "Depends on what we find," Lena said. Carl's expression didn't change. "If you hear something out there, don't answer it." The four of them went still. "What kind of something?" Mara asked. "Doesn't matter what kind," Carl said. "You hear something calling you, asking you to come closer, telling you to do something. You don't answer. You don't listen. You don't do what it says. You understand?" "What happens if we do?" Jake asked. Carl looked at him for a long moment. "I don't know. Nobody who answered ever came back to tell me." The first day was uneventful. They hiked 4 miles into the forest along a trail that hadn't been maintained in years. The trees here were tall, old-growth pines that blocked out most of the sunlight, even in the middle of the day. The air smelled like damp earth and pine needles. It was quiet. Not peaceful quiet. Empty quiet. No birds, no insects. Just the sound of their boots on the trail and the occasional crack of a branch underfoot. They set up camp in a clearing near a stream. Mara had cross-referenced the coordinates from the 2009 disappearance. This wasn't the exact spot, but it was close, within a mile. "If something happened to them, it probably started here," she said, unrolling her sleeping bag inside the tent. Ethan was setting up a small audio recorder near the edge of the clearing. "If there's a voice, I want to capture it." "You think it's an actual voice?" Jake asked. "Like a person?" "I think it's something that sounds like a voice," Ethan said. "Could be acoustics." Wind through the trees. Infrasound. There's a lot of natural phenomena that can make people hear things that aren't there. Lena was walking the perimeter of the clearing with her camera, taking photos. "You always do this," she said. "Do what?" "Try to explain things before we even know what we're dealing with." Ethan shrugged. "I'd rather have an explanation ready than make one up later." That night, they sat around the fire. They didn't hear anything. No voices, no calls. Just the crackle of burning wood and the low murmur of the stream nearby. Mara kept checking her watch. "It's April 12th. The 2009 group disappeared on the 15th. If the cycle's real, we've got 3 days." "3 days until what?" Jake asked. "Until it starts," Mara said. The second day, they found the camp. It was a half-mile east of their own site, tucked into a dense section of forest where the trees grew so close together that the ground was in permanent twilight. The tents were still standing, 2 of them. Faded green nylon that had been beaten down by 15 years of weather, but hadn't collapsed. The fabric was covered in moss and bird shit, but the frames were intact. "This is it," Mara said quietly. "This is where they stayed." Lena was already shooting photos. Ethan approached one of the tents and crouched down, inspecting the zipper. "It's closed from the inside." "What?" "The zipper. It's pulled shut from inside the tent, like someone zipped it up and never unzipped it." Jake pulled the zipper down. The sound was loud in the silence. Inside the tent was a sleeping bag, a backpack, a flashlight lying on its side, batteries long dead, and a notebook. Jake picked it up.
The cover was warped from moisture, but the pages inside were mostly intact. He opened it to the first page. Handwritten, neat, slanted letters. April 10th, 2009, Day 1. "It's a journal," Jake said. Mara was beside him in a second. "Whose?" Jake flipped to the inside cover, A name was written in the same handwriting. Emily Vasquez. They brought the notebook back to their camp and read it out loud. Emily's handwriting was precise, methodical. She documented everything. The group's arrival, the trail conditions, the weather. She mentioned the ranger's warning in the first entry, but didn't dwell on it. The tone was light, optimistic. They were there to have a good time. April 10th, 2009, Day 1. We made it to the site around 3 p.m. The hike-in was longer than we expected, but not bad. Marcus is already complaining about his boots. David says we're a mile from where the old trail used to run, back before the Park Service rerouted it. Sophie wants to explore tomorrow. I told her we should stick to the plan, but you know Sophie. She's going to do what she wants anyway. The ranger at the station was weird. Told us not to answer if we hear something. Marcus laughed. I didn't. There was something about the way he said it, like he'd seen it happen before. Anyway, first night. No voices yet, just us and the trees. April 11th, 2009, Day 2. Sophie heard it first. We were sitting around the fire after dinner, and she suddenly went still. She said, "Do you hear that?" We didn't. She said it sounded like someone calling her name. Faint, like it was coming from deep in the woods. Marcus said it was probably an echo, someone else camping nearby. But there's no one else out here.
We haven't seen another person since we left the ranger station. Sophie wanted to check it out. David said no. I agreed with David. We all agreed. Don't go toward the voice. That was the rule, right? That's what the ranger said. She didn't go, but she kept looking in that direction, like she was waiting to hear it again. April 12th, 2009, Day 3. It's not just Sophie anymore. This morning, Marcus heard it, then David, then me. All of us at different times, always our own names, always from the same direction, southeast, deeper into the forest where the trees get thicker. The voices don't sound the same. Sophie said hers sounded like her mom. Marcus said his sounded like his younger brother. Mine sounded like my dad. But my dad's been dead for 6 years. David's the only one who hasn't heard it yet. He thinks we're psyching ourselves out. Folie à plusieurs, he called it. Shared delusion. He's pre-med. He always has a term for everything. We tried to leave this morning. Packed up the tents, started back the way we came. But after an hour of hiking, we ended up back at the camp. Same clearing, same fire pit. Like we'd walked in a circle. We tried again. Same result. David says we're disoriented. The trails here aren't marked well. It's easy to lose direction. But I've been checking the compass. We're walking northwest. That's the right direction. And we keep ending up back here. April 13th, 2009, Day 4. We're not leaving. We've tried 4 times now. Every time we end up back at the camp. It doesn't matter which direction we walk, north, south, east, west, we always circle back. The voice is louder now. It's not calling our names anymore. It's giving instructions. Come closer. Step forward. Follow me. Sophie almost did. This morning, she stood up in the middle of breakfast and started walking toward the trees. David grabbed her. She didn't fight him, but she didn't stop trying either. She just kept pulling, like she didn't even know we were there. When he finally got her to sit down, she said, "It's not dangerous. It just wants to show me something." I asked her what. She said, "I don't know, but I need to see it. April 14th, 2009, Day 5. David heard it. He didn't tell us at first, but I saw it on his face. He went pale, stopped mid-sentence while he was talking about trying to signal for help. He said, "Do you hear that?" We didn't. He said it sounded like his daughter. But David doesn't have a daughter. He's 28 and single. He's never even been married. When I pointed that out, he looked at me like I'd said something insane. He said, "Of course I have a daughter. Her name is Sarah. She's 7. Why don't you remember her?" None of us remember her, because she doesn't exist. But David believes she does, and the voice keeps calling him, keeps saying her name, keeps telling him to come find her. I don't know what this thing is, but it's not just calling us. It's rewriting us. April 15th, 2009, Day 6. Marcus is gone. He left during the night. I woke up around 3 a.m. and his tent was open, sleeping bag empty, flashlight still inside. We searched for him all morning, found his tracks heading southeast, followed them for maybe half a mile before they just stopped. Not like he turned around, not like he climbed a tree or jumped over something. They just ended, mid-step. David wants to keep looking. Sophie says we should answer it. She says if we do what it wants, it'll let us go. I don't think it works like that. I think if we answer, we disappear like Marcus. April 15th, 2009. Later. Sophie's gone too. She went while David and I were trying to start a signal fire. When we turned around, she was walking into the trees. We shouted at her. She didn't stop, didn't even look back. David ran after her. I stayed at the camp. I thought if I stayed in one place, I'd be safe. I was wrong. The voice is here now, right next to me. It sounds like it's standing just outside the tent. It's not calling my name anymore. It's whispering. It's saying, "Write this down." I don't want to write this down. It's saying, "Write this down so the next ones know." I don't understand. It's saying, every 15 years, spring, always spring. They'll come, they'll read, they'll try to understand, and they'll stay. I'm writing this because I can't stop. My hand is moving and I can't stop it. It's saying, you were never leaving. You were always supposed to stay. Just like the ones before you. Just like the ones after. It's saying, the entry ended there. The rest of the page was blank. Jake closed the notebook. No one spoke. Lena was staring at the tent where they'd found it. Ethan was checking his audio recorder like he was trying to confirm that what he'd just heard was real. Mara's face was unreadable. She was writing what it told her to write, Mara said finally. Or she lost it, Ethan said. Stress, isolation, fear. People break under that. She wasn't broken, Mara said. She was controlled. We don't know that. Yes, we do. Mara pointed at the last line. Write this down so the next ones know. She looked at each of them. We're the next ones. Jake stood up. We need to leave, right now. Agreed, Lena said. They packed in 10 minutes, tents down, bags on, fire stamped out. They didn't bother being careful. They just moved. Ethan checked his compass. Northwest, same direction as the trail we came in on. They walked for 2 hours and ended up back at the clearing. No, Jake said. No, we didn't turn around.
We didn't circle back. We walked straight. Ethan was staring at his compass. This doesn't make sense. The compass is working. The direction is right. We should be 5 miles away by now. Mara sat down on a log near the fire pit. She didn't look surprised. She looked tired. It's the same thing that happened to them, she said. We're not them, Jake said. We are now. Lena was pacing. Okay, let's think. The journal said they tried leaving multiple times, different directions, always came back. So direction doesn't matter. Distance doesn't matter. The forest loops. Forests don't loop, Ethan said. This one does. Then how do we break the loop? No one answered. They tried again the next morning. Same result. By the afternoon, Mara had stopped trying. She sat by the fire pit with Emily's journal open in her lap, rereading the entries like she was looking for a clue they'd missed. There has to be a pattern, she said. A rule, something we can use. The rule is don't answer the voice, Jake said. We haven't answered, so why are we stuck? Because we came here, Mara said. That's the rule. If you come during the cycle, you're part of it, whether you answer or not. Ethan shook his head. That's not a rule. That's a death sentence. Maybe it's both. Lena had been quiet all day. She was sitting at the edge of the clearing, camera in her lap, staring into the trees. I heard it this morning, she said. They all turned. You didn't say anything, Jake said. I didn't want to make it real. Lena's voice was flat. But I heard it. It sounded like my brother. He's 14. He called my name. He said, Lena, I can't find my way back. Can you help me? What did you do? Mara asked. Nothing. I didn't answer. I didn't move. I just sat there until it stopped. Did it stop? Ethan asked. Lena looked at him. No. By the third night, all of them had heard it. Jake's voice sounded like his ex-girlfriend, the one who died in a car accident 2 years ago. She kept saying his name, asking where he was, asking why he wasn't answering. Ethan's voice sounded like his thesis advisor, calm, professional, telling him to come to the lab. We need to go over your data. Mara's voice sounded like herself, younger, like she was hearing herself at 16, calling from somewhere far away, saying, I'm lost. I don't know where I am. Please help me. None of them answered. But the voices didn't stop. On the fourth night, Ethan set up every piece of recording equipment he had. Audio recorders, his phone, Lena's camera with the mic attachment. He placed them in a circle around the camp. If this thing is real, he said, I'm going to capture it. Frequency, wavelength, source direction, something. And then what? Mara asked. Then I'll know what we're dealing with. At 2:37 a.m., every recorder went off at once. Not static, not interference. A voice, clear, steady, coming through every device simultaneously. It said, "Step forward." Ethan was standing before he realized he was moving. Jake grabbed him. "Don't! I wasn't." Ethan's face was pale. "I didn't decide to stand up." The voice came again. "Step forward." Ethan took a step. Jake tackled him. They hit the ground hard. Ethan thrashed, not fighting Jake, but fighting himself. I can't stop moving." Mara grabbed his legs. Lena pinned his arms. It took all three of them to hold him down. The voice came a third time. This time it wasn't just one voice. It was dozens, hundreds, all speaking in unison. "Step forward," Ethan screamed, and then the voices stopped. Ethan went limp. For a moment, Jake thought he was dead, but then Ethan sucked in a breath, shaking, staring up at the sky. "It wasn't asking," he said. "It was making me." The next morning, they didn't try to leave. There was no point. They sat in the clearing and read Emily's journal again and again, looking for anything, any detail, any exception. Lena was the one who found it. "Look at the dates," she said. Mara leaned over. "What about them?" Emily's group arrived on April 10th. They disappeared on April 15th. 5 days. So we arrived on April 12th. That means we have until April 17th. Until what? Lena pointed at the last entry. "You were always supposed to stay." She looked at Mara. "Not forever. 5 days."
The cycle is 5 days. After that, the voice takes you. Takes you where? I don't know. But if we're still here on the 17th, we'll find out. It was April 16th. 1 day left. They hadn't slept, hadn't eaten. They just sat by the fire and waited. At dawn, Mara stood up. "I'm going to try something," she said. "Don't," Jake said. "I'm not answering it. I'm talking to it." "What's the difference?" "Answering means I do what it says. Talking means I ask questions." "Mara." She walked to the edge of the clearing and faced the trees. "I know you can hear me," she said. Silence. "I know you're here. I know you've been here for a long time. I know you take people every 15 years. I want to know why." The voice came immediately. It didn't sound like anyone she knew. It sounded like her. "Because you come." Mara's breath caught. "What do you mean?" "Every 15 years, you read, you wonder, you come, you stay." "We didn't come to stay. We came to find out what happened to the others." "And now you know." Mara's hands were shaking. "What are you?" "I am what listens, what waits, what calls. You came when I called. You always do." "I didn't hear you call. Not until we got here." The voice laughed, softly, gently. "You heard me the moment you read the first name. Emily, Marcus, David, Sophie. I called you through them, through the ink, through the years. You heard. You came." Mara turned back to the others. Her face was white. "It's not the voice in the forest," she said. "It's the voice in the story." April 17th came. They were still there. At exactly 3 p.m., the voice spoke one last time. "It's time." Jake stood. He didn't mean to. His body moved on its own. Lena stood, then Ethan, then Mara. They walked, one by one, into the trees. Not southeast, not toward anything, just into the forest. And as they walked, the trees seemed to close behind them. The newspaper clipping was dated April 24th, 2024. Search called off for missing hikers in Pine Ridge Forest. 4 names, 4 faces. Jake Torrance, 23. Mara Huynh, 21. Ethan Morris, 25.
Lina Zhao, 22. The article said they'd gone on a 3-day camping trip. They were expected back on April 15th. When they didn't return, a search party was dispatched. They found the campsite on the 2nd day. Tents still standing, food untouched, backpacks stacked neatly by the fire pit. No signs of struggle, no blood, no tracks leading away. The article mentioned one detail that stuck out. A notebook had been found in one of the tents. Inside was a handwritten journal. The last entry was dated April 16th, 2024. It read, "If you're reading this, don't come looking for us. The voice doesn't live in the forest. It lives in the story. Every 15 years, someone reads about the disappearances. Every 15 years, someone decides to investigate. And every 15 years, the cycle continues. We thought we were different. We thought we could break it. We were wrong. The voice doesn't need to hunt. It just needs to be heard. And once you've heard it, once you've read this, it's already calling you.
You just don't know it yet." Below that, in different handwriting, "See you in 15 years." 3 states away, in a small college library, a journalism student named Marcus opened a laptop and typed into the search bar, "Unsolved disappearances, Pine Ridge Forest, Montana." The first result was a newspaper archive. April 24th, 2024. He clicked. He read. And somewhere deep in the woods, something smiled.